So this is our debate. We're debating um, Stephen King versus Lanny Griner. It is the debate over the success kid meme in a fundraising effort. If you want to go over the article.
Yeah. So essentially, Stephen King is the is a representative of, I believe, Iowa, say rep for the U.S. government. So he used the quote unquote success kid in a fundraising effort in order to quote unquote fund our memes for his effort and his campaign. And Lainey Griner, the mother of the child in the photo, has a lot of issues to take with that, to say the least.
Okay. Myself and Mason. Is that it?
Hello.
We will be defending King, as to where Brennan, Anna, and Brent will be defending the mother. We can start with the mother and her defense or
Okay,
her
I can.
accusation.
I'll start with that. Um, so when it comes to the matter of the child, obviously, I mean, he can't. He's still a minor. I think at this point, I think I read. So any rights that would pertain to him would actually be from the mother, as far as to protect him, to um, pretty much approve any use of his image as the guardian. So that would be her right. And one of the things that we actually had read about, and I did a little bit of more research on this as well, is the right to publicity, like how that works in the U.S. Um, I know it's bigger over in Europe, but over here, even New York actually recognized the claim for commercial appropriation of an individual's identity back in 1903. So 100 years ago, they even recognized that somebody is unique enough that if they're trying to use them commercially, which in this case, yeah, I know it was political, but you are using them commercially. You're selling his image to sell more memes. Um, so he's allowed to be protected. He's allowed to use his image, and we have all these domain things. I'm sure you guys are going to touch on, but we have I believe it's the Lanham Act, Section 43A1A. It actually provides a claim for creating a likelihood of confusion to the nature of the association, which is what the mother in this case is actually fighting for. She does not want herself or her son associated with this particular politician for whatever reason. I mean, she has her reasons for wanting to do so. And I'm a parent. I think I'm the only one here that actually is a parent. So yeah, it's pretty important for her to be in front of this for him. So I mean, yeah, everybody knows him as Success Kid, but she's actually protecting his right to use that later in his life and say, "Yeah, I'm the Success Kid." You know, we see people do that all the time right now, where they'll come back out years after. You've got the Verizon guy working for Sprint and so on. So she's trying to protect his future and his ability to control the right to his publicity in this case.
Yeah,
Uh,
and just I guess
oh,
yeah, so
I was gonna touch on not necessarily the likeness, but the use of fair use. So in the fair use copyright law, the nature of copyrighted work, um, this factor analyzes the degree at which you can use a copyright purpose for creative expression. So he wasn't using it for a um, monetary gain. He was using it for a non for profit donation collection that would support the memes. So I mean that's where he was at with the use.
Yeah, and besides that, when it comes to memes, they're already a fairly gray topic in terms of law because they are used so like transformatively over the course of just using it in history like that, not history, internet, like that's just how a meme works. Like the definition of one is just an idea, a behavior, style, or usage that spreads from person to person within a culture. So internet memes are just the continuation of that, and like the entire point of one is for transformative use, so that it continues to quote unquote evolve just like a gene, since this was made by Richard Dawkins. So the usage of it does crop out the actual background, in which case the uh, the quote unquote likeness was taken from, in which case it could be considered a transformative use. And while the I'm sorry, I missed something. Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So yeah,
It's okay. I mean, I can try to come back from that because I would argue with your point that you say it's transformative. He's not making money off of it, but he is. He's wanting to make more memes, and we kind of know how that's been working lately in the political field. It comes to your campaign, but they're allowed to use that. So I'll let one of my
Yeah, and just kind of, I guess, with copyright, I do believe that the mom still actually owns the actual copyright for like the image.
Correct.
And I read in the text that the 1988 Digital Millennium Copyright Act kind of just was created as a mechanism can help people. They believe that their copyright has been violated. Basically, the issue with it, I guess, is that he didn't actually get permission at all. He just kind of took this picture and put it up. So I guess that's I argue for her, just especially just because she's even said in the article that like multiple other companies have like came out to her and gotten the license to use the image. So I think that's kind of why he's really in the wrong, because he didn't go out and at least get permission or even attempt to get permission. He just took it and did it, and I think that's kind of where the issues lie.
Um, so under fair use, as long as it's altered in some way, so the background of the image is corrupt out. Therefore, the image, I think, in my opinion, is altered enough to be used under fair use. So it's just a public image that he can use. And he's not necessarily using it for the monetary gain, right? He's using it not necessarily to make more memes, because I mean that's not how memes happen. I mean you can make a meme for free on the internet, but he's using it for his campaign um, instead. So that's kind of um, where I'm not arguing that it is copyrighted, because this is a copyrighted image that the mother did claim the copyright in 2007 according to the article, um, or according to a CBS article um, about this subject. So yeah.
yeah. And besides that, the other four tenets, the other three tenets of fair use are also potentially important in this situation, because like the purpose and the character of the use of the actual thing is not for a quote unquote commercial use, because it's not like it's not telling people to buy things, it's not telling people to, well, yeah, it's not telling people to buy things. It's strictly for a set of donations for political purposes. We already discussed the nature of the copyrighted work. The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole is a difficult topic to defend on this point, I will admit. And the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work, this is obviously something that it would not come from, because it's a meme. It's not a there's no market for it.
Anna, do you want to add?
Yeah, I was just gonna bounce back to what you guys are just talking about, the fair use doctrine. Just one little part of it that I think the concerning part is about. The concerning part about it is, it's on the last one. Wait, sorry. Well, okay, I wrote down the purpose of the fair use doctrine is to allow limited and reasonable uses as long as the use does not interfere with the owner's rights or impede their right to do with the work as they wish. And I believe since King used this image in his campaign, and he wrote in quotes, make sure the lefties stay triggered, which is kind of an aggressive in nature, and it doesn't really coincide with the wholesome message of the meme that the mom is arguing with. And I think it has tarnished the image of the meme. So people who did witness that campaign image, that's kind of going to be permanently embedded in some people's heads. So they will refer to that image possibly more with the campaign if they were influenced by the campaign more than the meme if they saw the meme alone first, if that makes sense.
I would like to argue that the meme was popular enough and has been around for long enough because obviously it was copyrighted back in 2012. The image actually was taken in 2007, so the image has been around for a while and the meme has been around for a while, and it has always been um, like meaning like positive reinforcement, like we can do this, let's get behind us. As to where if King did like reenacted the image himself, it wouldn't give the driving effect that the memes have, especially regarding to um, the the statement of trying to get more memes, right? So they're obviously King's audience is connects well with memes, and they know meme culture to a certain extent, to where they would know what that image is referring to.
I agree.
I will say there have been other cases. Some of these are a little bit more commercial than in this situation. But for instance, we got like 2013. We had the Keyboard Cat and Yon Cat actually sued Warner Brothers and Fifth Cell Media for unauthorized use of their meme cats images. They used them in the Scribblenauts video game. That was settled out of court, and this actually isn't even the first time that I believe we refer to the kid as SG in anything that he's in since he's a minor. But they actually sued a company called Jake's Fireworks in I don't see the year anywhere. But basically, they sued them, and all they were doing is using the image as well for a product called Back Off, shoots flaming balls into the sky. So this isn't the first time that there's been a challenge with her copyright. That case settled out of court, and really all she is asking for in this situation is that they stop using the image. I mean, you can't copyright the idea. So if he was to put somebody else in this image, I don't think we'd be talking about this in the same way. You know, there's doing the same thing. Everybody gets the correlation, but it's not SG. And you know, mainly I think that's the thing that Laney wants in this case is to separate Success Kid from this Republican.
Well, I do want to say that it isn't exactly true that all she wants is for them to remove the photo, because she has said, she demanded in the article from the Hollywood Reporter that King must both remove, must also remove Success Kid from any sites associated with the campaign, prominently display a notice that the image was used without permission for at least 90 days on all sites where the meme had been posted, and provide accounting of the funds received in response of the Success Kid post, provide proof that it is refunding all donors and notifying them in writing that Success Kid is not associated with the campaign, and reach out to discuss reasonable compensation for the use. So as much as I agree with some of the things that you're saying, it's not just that she wants it taken down. She wants everything scrubbed from it.
And the reasonable compensation, right? So he wasn't using it to necessarily make money, like I said. So like the reasonable compensation doesn't make a whole lot of sense if he wasn't getting any compensation back for it.
Right, but the funds were going to his campaign. So
Yeah.
That's not
It's not going
directly.
to him.
Yeah, that's not directly going to him though. So it's a non-for-profit. That'd be like Goodwill, where they would donate, where you donate items, right? So you're donating money to Goodwill.
Yeah. Brennan or um, Anna, do you have anything to say?
Just kind of, I don't know. I just still think that, I mean, just the violation of the copyright, and I know that's fair use, but I found online I found the actual section of the Copyright Act is on ostler.com, but it says Section 3(1) of the Copyright Act gives rights holders the sole right to reproduce a work or of any part thereof. But basically, reproducing a substantial part of someone else's work without consent, thus constitute copyright infringement. And I kind of think I think because like you said, the Braden, how it was kind of cropped out, but still, I mean, it's within a substantial part. I mean, because when I read the article, it was discussing the meme of Drake when it's like the first picture, he's like, I like this, and the second one, he's like, no, or whatever. But I was talking about a video, but I think if you apply that to an image, I mean, that's the background is a pretty big part, but like the main thing of the image, the substantial part would be, of course, the success kid rocking that fist. So I just kind of, that's just.
And back to the main point, there's also somebody's identity, and it's a minor as well. And I feel like just as was discussed in the beginning, the mother does have the rights over her child, especially him being like exposed to people, just to the whole world, to the internet. And the fact that something as simple as King, whether or not like this argument, how this is going, it would have been simple just to reach out and just ask for approval or her disapproval, just like other companies have, and just have that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't disagree with the actions of King not reaching out. I do think he should have. It's just that the other companies such as Coca-Cola, General Mills, Microsoft, and Marriott are actual businesses, not necessarily just a donation. So
I agree with that, but my point would be I don't have the exact year, but I know it was just a couple years ago. They actually used, I found his name was Sammy. They actually used Sammy again to raise funds for his father's kidney. His father needed a kidney replacement. And they ended up raising $83,000 through GoFundMe for that. So, that image is powerful enough that it's related to Sammy's image. He knows what kind of power it's got behind it. He's 14 now. He's about to get to the point where he can actually you know have his own identity and actually be using it for financial reasons. So for it to come out right about now I mean, it's damning. It's a time frame where he needs to be able to take it over, and in this situation, now this is what everybody's talking about: is King's use of his image without permission.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think you guys all make very very good and solid points. Brendan, were you about to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna agree that yeah, he's still just a little kid. I mean, he's probably not a baby anymore, but
He's 14.
Yeah, he's
14.
14. Like I said, this photo was taken back in 2007. So
Yeah. But
No,
I was just kind of agreeing with
can
that.
be babies. Personally, that's just what I think.
what'd you say?
Yeah.
Not important. It was a
Oh,
joke.
okay, it was a joke. Okay. Sarcasm. Okay, so to touch back over our main points, since we're closing in on the closing period, um, myself and Mason, right? Did I
Yep.
get that right? We are arguing the side of fair use, and your guys' side, if you'd like to cover your main points.
Just kind of just breaking copyright, I think, is a big one for me that I would really try to hone in and focus on. Just copyright infringement, just taking advantage of not really we're just taking this kid's picture and trying to gain monetary value for his campaign, and especially if the mother didn't consent and just he broke just copyright infringement really is my big one.
I think the right to publicity, just to bookend kind of what I started at the beginning, it's his image. We've recognized that for over 100 years that you have the right to decide what you should be able to do with your own image. I think we have about 30 seconds here. So kind of like what I would close with that would be, maybe the mom is asking for a bit much, and this is probably going to be a case that's settled out of court, like the other cases they've had. And I think in this situation, I mean, you take the image down. Maybe you do post something somewhere where you say we're not affiliated, and mom's not going to be happy either way. Let's be honest, she's not going to be happy. But in that situation, I think you limit further damage.
All right, fair enough.
I think that basically covers everything. Does anyone have any final closing thoughts?
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. So
Sure to like and subscribe.